Kelly K 12.5 FM. Good morning to you on your Wednesday. It's April 17th, 2024. This is Community Conversations. Kara Wonder is in the studio with you today, and I am joined by Courtney Smith. She is with the NEA Family Crisis Center, and they've got some things going on in the community that they want to just make everyone aware about. So, Courtney, how are you doing today?
I'm doing so fabulous. Thank you for having me.
Just pull it down just a little bit and put a little bit closer to you.
How about that?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
All right, so kind of tell us a little bit about yourself and about the NEA Family Crisis Center and what you all have going on.
Of course. So, like you said, my name is Courtney. I'm the Rape Crisis Program Coordinator with the NEA Family Crisis Center. We offer advocacy services for survivors of domestic violence, sexual assault, and human trafficking. We have got some stuff going on this month. It is Sexual Assault Awareness Month, and we want to invite everybody to our educational seminar that we're having on Thursday, April 25th at 10 a.m. It's at the St. Bernard's Auditorium. We're going to talk about all things sexual assault, neurobiology of trauma, medical forensic exams, evidence collection, but we're also going to speak to these professionals attending about how to take care of themselves. Some secondary trauma information, self-care, and compassion fatigue. We're also giving free lunch. We know that's how to get people to show up to stuff.
Well, definitely, yeah. That was the magic word right there. So tell about why it's so important to put on an event like this in light of what your organization does.
Of course. So it's important because sexual assault and domestic violence, as well as human trafficking, are all topics that people don't really like to talk about. As much as it happens, people kind of see it as a taboo topic sometimes, but it's so important that we talk about it and we get awareness and recognition out so that people know how to help others in those situations and how to advocate for them.
Okay, so let's just say that there was a person that was going through an assault or being trafficked. We pray that that doesn't happen, but if it does, what steps would that person have to go through to get help? And then once they reached out to you all for help, what are the things that you all would be able to do for that person?
Okay, so if there's a person that's going through any type of situation like that, we do have a hotline number. It's 870-933-9449. It's answered 24 hours, 7 days a week. There's not a time that you will call that line and it won't be answered. So after we get in contact with that individual, we can do some outreach services with them. We can provide, like I said, medical forensic exams in-house instead of at a hospital. We can do legal advocacy. We have an emergency shelter as well as providing transportation. We do all kinds of services that are going to help a survivor move from a place of victimization into a place of empowerment. We also have mental health services. We have counseling and support groups. It's just a really great program that we have in the community, and I don't know that people are super aware that we're here.
Okay, and once again, give that number in which so someone could call if they need help.
It's 870-933-9449.
And they can just talk to anyone who's on the phone.
Yes, we have domestic violence advocates that answer that phone, as well as sexual assault advocates. They're all trained to answer crisis calls and do some de-escalation and help that person kind of calm down if they're in an emergency situation, and we can work with them to get them out of that emergency situation.
And that's definitely so important. So getting back to the event at St. Bernard's Auditorium, what is the structure of the event going to be? What can attendees expect besides the food?
Of course. So we're going to have 3 speakers that are going to give some presentations in the morning. Those speakers are going to be Kenny Smith and Rebecca Bailey. They're both from the Arkansas Coalition Against Sexual Assault. And we also have one of our very own SANE nurses from St. Bernard's. Her name is Beth Murph. She's going to be doing some presenting as well for us. And not only that, but we're going to do a question and answer discussion panel so that attendees can ask these experts any questions that they may have about the processes or the outcomes of sexual assaults. And we can kind of have a community discussion from different perspectives and different professions to answer those questions.
And this was something that we talked about off air, but I want to bring it up while on air. If you are a man and you are going through this, you can reach out as well, because a lot of times, if a man's going through it, they may feel like if they reach out for help, then they're perceived as weak or whatnot.
Yeah,
So I kind of want to touch on that a bit.
Yeah, I understand where you're coming from. We do serve males that are going through these situations. We don't discriminate by gender or anything like that. As many as 1 in 6 men in America have been the victim of sexual assault or abuse, and we want them to know that they are absolutely welcome to seek services with us as well, and we hope that they will. There's nothing wrong with reaching out for help as a male. I know that there's some kind of stigmas about it. Like you said, they're going to be perceived as weak or whatever the case may be, but that's not the case at all, and men are more than welcome to work with us and get some resources from us.
And I think that was important. That's why I wanted to bring that up on air, because we just never know. There may be a male out there listening or watching, or someone who may know of a male that's in that situation. And of course, it also it definitely applies to children. If you know that there are children going through, please reach out to them so that we can get them safe as well.
Yes, so we actually don't work directly with juveniles if they're 17 or under, but we can absolutely give resources to get those children into a safe place. We have also the NEA Children's Advocacy Center that would work with them in conjunction.
Well, that's good that you have organizations that you partner with that may have more of a specialty for that group than you are, because once that moment of crisis hits, the most important thing is getting that person to safety, no matter what umbrella that organization may actually be up under.
Absolutely. So as an organization, we are a big umbrella, and we have the 3 different programs. So as soon as a crisis hits, we can refer and give resources for anything that's going on, pretty much.
Okay. Now, how long have you been a part of this organization, the NEA Family Crisis Center?
I have been a part of this organization for, about 3.5 months now. I'm still relatively new, but I'm really enjoying it, and it's a really good organization to be with and to provide services to people.
So what are some of the lessons that you have learned in your short tenure with the organization?
I have learned so much in my short time so far. We've done some trainings with the Coalition Against Sexual Assault, and I think that some of the most surprising things that I've learned are the way that the public perceives it. Like I had told you earlier, I have a past in social services and law enforcement work, so I was a little more familiar with it already coming in than I think a lot of the public is, and it's just crazy to hear what the public thinks of sexual assault and domestic violence.
So would you say in that regards that there are some misconceptions, some miscommunications that need to be broken down?
Absolutely, and that's actually something that we're going to go through in our seminar next week, is myths and misconception about rape culture. It's really important that we dissect these myths and tell people why they're not accurate and give them the accurate information instead.
Okay. And can you give an example of what one of those myths would be?
A good example would be what is considered a stereotypical sexual assault, which is going to be one that occurs to a young white female in a dark alley at night. That is not the only type of sexual assault that there is. But that's what a lot of people see when they hear those words. And it's just such a bigger, more broad term than that.
Yeah, because something like that could happen in any setting. It could even be not necessarily with a stranger. It could be you could have someone who's in a relationship and basically one partner takes advantage of the other because the other one did not consent to it.
Right.
Now that you've actually gotten into that realm.
Yeah. So marital rape is a real thing, and like you said, actually 8 out of 10 sexual assaults are committed by someone who is known to that person. So an acquaintance, a friend, or a romantic partner, someone that has authority over that person. Most sexual assaults are between people who already know each other. They're not strangers.
So as you see, it's very important that we educate the community to dispel these notions and to Because when you have these stigmas, it makes it harder for people to reach out when you have to battle these stereotypes. So I think education is so important. So speaking of education, once again, let's give the details of the event that's coming up.
All right, so our event is coming up on Thursday, April 25th. It starts at 10 a.m. We're going to have free lunch. It's at the St. Bernard's Auditorium. And if you want to reserve a seat for this event, all you've got to do is go to our website or any of our social media pages.
And what are they?
That's going to be NEA Family Crisis Center Incorporated on Facebook, and I believe it's NEA Family Crisis Center on Instagram as well. Our website is neafamilycrisiscenter.org. We have a very pretty purple flyer on our website and our social medias that has a QR code on it. And that QR code, if you scan it, it's going to take you to our registration page for our event. All you got to do is put your name and a little bit of contact information in there, and you will be good to go, and you'll be good to join us on Thursday.
All right. And what's the times and the location?
10 a.m. at St. Bernard's Auditorium here in Jonesboro.
And it's coming Thursday, right?
It is, yes, on the 25th.
All right. So is there anything else that you wanted to say to the listeners and viewers out there, either about this event or the NEA Family Crisis Center?
I want to say that everyone is invited, no matter what profession they're in. If you have ever will have the possibility of encountering a survivor of sexual assault, we encourage you to attend and get some really good information.
All right. So there you have it. So Courtney, thank you so much for joining us. And it's going down next Thursday at the St. Bernard's Auditorium. So make sure you have your face up in the place, and they will have some good food. But most importantly, they're going to have some information that could save someone's life. That's going to do it for this edition of Community Conversations. You guys have a great and blessed day. This is KLEK on the 2.5 FM. All righty. Went about a good 12 minutes there.
Nice.